This video will cover how to write an equation for the xth term of an arithmetic sequence. We're going to look at two different problem types here, one where we are given the entire sequence and one where we are given specific information about the sequence. So if we are given the entire sequence, such as these two examples here, we only need to know two things to write the equation. We need to know that the first term is 5. So again, that tells us x1 and y1 because the first term, x sub 1, is 1, and that value is 5. So y sub 1 is 5. We also need to know the common difference. So what are we doing to it each time? Well, we're subtracting 18. Remember that that means that we're adding negative 18. So our m value is negative 18. From there, we go to our basic point-slope equation. We plug in what we know, which is y minus 5 equals negative 18 times x minus 1. Now, this technically is the equation for the xth term. However, I would really prefer that it said y equals, so we are going to do one little tiny thing to that. We are going to move the 5, and that's all we're going to do. We're not going to distribute, we're not going to combine like terms. We are just going to move the 5 to the other side. This is the format I would like these equations to be written in. So y equals negative 18 times the quantity x minus 1 plus 5. Let's do another one. So again, we have our first term. We need to know that. y1 is negative 8. x1 is 1. Again, the x is the term number. So we're looking at the first term, which means x1 is 1. Then we need to know our common difference. What's happening between each term? We are adding 2 each time. So m is 2. Okay? Now, from there, we go to our equation, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We plug in what we know. So we have y minus negative 8, so y plus 8 equals our slope, our common difference is 2, times x minus the term number of negative 8, which is the first term, so 1. Again, technically that is the equation, but I would like it to be in a very specific format. I would like you to move the 8 to the other side, giving me the equation y equals 2 times x minus 1 minus 8. Again, the reason I want it written this way is so that we can input a term number, x, and have it spit out the term. We want it to be y equals. Okay, so let's look at a slightly harder example. And it's really not any harder if we're using point-slope form. Here they have not given us the entire sequence. They have given us a specific term and the common difference. So but again, we have all the information that we need here. If x5 is 19, if y5 is 19, then x5 is the term number of that, which is the same as the subscript. That would be 5. Pen is acting up. Okay, so we have everything that we need to write an equation. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, here's the thing. x1, y1 is any point on the line, which we should all know from Algebra 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out the 1's and put in 5's, because we know x5 and y5. Plug in what we know. Y minus 19 equals 6 times x minus 5. Again, that is the equation, but I'd like you to move the 19 so that we have it in the form y equals something. So our equation should be y equals 6 times the quantity x minus 5 plus 19. That equation will generate any term in the entire sequence by inputting the term number. Let's do one more. I'm going to have to clean up this 5 because it's bothering me and it doesn't look that good. Okay. So again, we have here the sixth term is 12, so we know that x6 is 6. That's everything that we need to find the equation. If we use point-slope form, but instead of y1 and x1, we're going to use y6 and x6. So y minus 12 equals 8 times x minus 6. Again, that technically is the equation, but I want it to be at a very specific format. So I want you to get y by itself. I want you to move the 12. So I would expect to see 8 times x minus 6 plus 12. Don't make that type of problem harder than it actually is. Next video, I don't really remember what it covers. I think arithmetic means.